About 3.5 years ago, we bought this fixer-upper house here in Florida so that we could move down here and start our life, build a home, and live our dream. So for the last 3.5 years, we've been working on our home and it's still going. We've been waiting to finish up the windows on this section of the house so that we could do all the trim work. But as you can see, we still have a window missing because back in August, we had ordered these windows. And when they came in, maybe a month later, one of them was defective, so I wasn't able to install it. We've been waiting ever since. Well, here we are in December. The window is finally here. Guys, let me tell you the story on this window. We thought we were going to do this project, obviously months ago. After we found out that our window was defective, we brought it back to the store right away, and I thought it would be quick and easy. We'll show them the defect, they'll order a new one, and everything will go smoothly. I brought my window to the store. I told them it was defective, and they didn't know what to do. They had no idea. They'd never even asked me how or why it was defective. Never even came up. They just continued looking at their computer. I think I was there for probably half an hour or more with them just looking at their computer screens, 3 employees, trying to figure out how to do a special order return. None of them could figure it out, so they told me, well, just leave the window here and we'll figure it out tomorrow. I didn't have a choice, so I just left it. So I left my window there, and boy, I don't remember if it was a day or two. I had to actually call them back and try to figure out what was going on with my window. And they said that they still couldn't do anything with it, so they're gonna give it to their special order person. They have a person that handles that, and she'd take care of it for me. This was so long ago now that it's hard for me to get like all the timelines right, but basically it was like waiting and waiting for days, weeks even, and I was hearing nothing. And I had to keep calling the store, and they would say, I don't know what you're talking about. They didn't know. They would look up the order. They have no idea, because the window was never returned. They just took it. And then they were going to try to contact the manufacturer. Instead of just doing a return replacement, they had to contact the manufacturer and see what they said. After weeks went by, and me calling the store trying to get updates, the special order lady who handles these things told me that she's been emailing Plygem, who makes these windows, and they just haven't gotten back to her. So I was waiting weeks already for no reason. She said she'll try to call them and see if she can get a hold of them. So after doing that, she was able to get a hold of them, got a new email address to send the information to, and then I guess Plygem requested pictures of the window. Again, weeks go by, I hear nothing. I have to keep calling. I'm telling you, without my persistence of calling every couple weeks, I don't think it would get done. Because it was always me calling that they'd say, oh yeah, I'll get a hold of them and see. I haven't heard back. It was one of those things. Anyway, fast forward, months later, I said, this is getting crazy. It's December and I still don't have my window. So I called the store and I said, have you heard anything? And they looked it up and they said, oh yeah, your window's here. I'm surprised they didn't call you. It's frustrating, to deal with these things. So, but then she tells me they didn't send a replacement window. They just sent part of a window, and we had to repair the window. And she said she'll call the people in the back room to see what they can do. And now I'm panicking because I'm picturing, like, no offense to the people who work there, but they're not window builders. And you're going to have employees at a store trying to repair my window that I paid good money for. So I kind of panicked a little bit, and I basically got in the car and I drove to the store. We drove to the store, and I went to the back room and I found the lady and I said, can I go see the window? Can I see what they sent? And she's sent me over to the receiving area on the other side of the store. So I go in the back room and I see 2 guys over my window taking apart, trying to figure out how to put it back together. And what Plygem did was they sent this frame new minus the sash. The sash is this part that slides up and down. They didn't send a complete window. So they had to take the sash out of my original window, which was still sitting at the store for months. And they had to take the sash out of the original window and install it in this new frame that they built. Unfortunately, the employees had no idea how to do it because They're not window manufacturers. And they just were given the window and said, here, fix this. They were doing their best trying to figure it out, but they were stumped on it. And so I'm back there, and then we got the three of us huddled around this window trying to troubleshoot it and trying to figure out, how do we get this together? How does this go in? We got to attach the springs on the side that make it hold up when you slide it up. And I said, well, do you have another window on the shelf, aluminum window? And they said, yeah. I said, well, let's get that. We'll see how that one's assembled. And that's what they did. That really solved all the problems. We were able to get it back together, and I brought it home. It was an experience like I've never had before with windows, where a manufacturer just says, here, fix it, you know? So anyway, I'm happy because I have a window, and that's what we're working on today. We're going to be cutting out this opening finally and getting our bedroom window installed so we can continue on our house siding. This is marked out. I already have lines on the wall. We pre-drilled the corners from inside. I'm going to run inside the house, pull the bed out of the way because we have our bed here, and then we'll get cutting. I'm going to get my respirator on so that I can cut safely. You know, some people might think this is overkill that I wear this sometimes when I do small jobs, but here's the fact of the matter is it protects my eyes, protects my ears, protects my lungs. And I don't like wearing regular masks like a lot of people wear when they work, like maybe a paper mask or even like a typical respirator you see a lot of people wear, because they don't work. It's that simple. They don't work. The dust goes right past them. If you don't have the perfect face shape and if you have any facial hair, then stuff just leaks all past it. I'm so sick of those masks. And you take them off and you get all this blow by and you're just breathing it in anyway. And also, I don't like stuff pressing on my nose because I can't breathe. Whenever I wear a mask, presses on my nose, I can't breathe, I start mouth breathing. Do you guys know how unhealthy mouth breathing is? That's why so many people who wear masks get sick. Part of it. What's this? You guys can see that I got some flashing tape on the window there just to protect the sill. These are aluminum windows and they will sweat in the winter. So I want to make sure the sill can handle condensation, and that's why I like to tape my sills no matter what. Even if your window doesn't leak, it should hold up to at least getting some condensation on it. So I'm getting ready now to pre-drill the window. I just want to drill the aluminum flange and then we'll get it screwed in. It's going to be quick and easy. Can you guys see the sky today? It's a beautiful day, but look at this sky activity. It's been non-stop. We've actually seen a lot of sky activity today. This reminds me of the eclipse day. You guys remember the eclipse that we passed? And they just covered the sky. They blanketed the sky with haze and you could barely see anything anywhere. Yeah. That's what it reminds us of. Some days we have these beautiful blue skies, like this morning, beautiful blue clear, and then the planes start going over and it covers the whole sky in a fog. A lot of strange activity happening in the skies lately. We've heard of a lot of people seeing drones, but we haven't seen drones, but there's a lot of aircraft and other things. A lot of little things. Like you saw something tiny and shiny.
Yeah, like almost like it had a mirror on it. Like you would see it like flash really bright.
Yeah. I mean, it could have been a plane, but it didn't look like one. It was very...
No, the way it was moving, it didn't look like a plane. It was like slow and weird.
Yeah. Very strange. So check out the sky, see what's going on. It's just interesting to look. You know, it's funny, there's a debate about chemtrails versus contrails, and I know some people think they're spraying us and killing us, or doing something, manipulating the weather, or, you know, but you have the people on the other side who say they're just contrails from the jets, condensation from the engine exhaust. But here's something to consider that nobody talks about. Whether it's chemtrails or contrails, they're artificially creating clouds. So it is weather engineering, no matter how you look at it, no matter what side of the fence you're on.
Even if it's condensation.
Intentional or unintentional, we had a blue sky and now we have a cloudy sky. And the clouds are 100% contrails. And if you have a blue sky naturally and you turn it into a cloudy sky artificially, you just manipulated the weather to some extent. I don't know what extent, but it is interesting to see that it doesn't matter where you stand. How does that affect the cycle? You get what I'm saying? Because we've seen it where it gets so hazy from contrails, so hazy that there's a halo around the sun and that it's just filled. The whole sky is covered and you can't see the blue anymore.
Because these trails, when they make them, it starts like the wind dissipates them.
They spread out.
And it turns into like a light bluish, hazy, whitish sky.
Yeah. So maybe that's something to look into is it okay to do that even if it's unintentional, you know?
Yeah.
There's one going over. Let's see if we can get it. There's one right here started. So anyway, holes are drilled on the window. We're going to get the window sealant on there. On these windows, I'm doing window sealant because we're doing it on the siding and I'm not going to be flashing the outside. So I like to choose window sealant or flashing, not both. Just right. I should have put it on the window opening itself. I don't like putting it on the window. Okay, hold it then. Well guys, after all these months of waiting, we finally got our window install, and I just realized one more thing that's wrong.
What?
They forgot to give us our window screen.
Oh.
The old window at the store that we returned had a screen, and the manufacturer must have sent a frame without a screen, and our old screen, we never got it. And I didn't even think of that when I was at the store. I didn't think when I was carrying it out to, oh, the screen. I don't know why. I just, you know, it's chaotic in the moment. You're so worried. I was in there trying to repair a window in the back room of Home Depot. So, like, there's so much going on that you don't think straight. And I was just happy that the window was fixed and we could finally install it. And I just totally forgot. And just now, I went and I stepped back and I looked at the windows and I said, that window has a screen and that one doesn't. I'm going to call them and say I need my window screen, and we'll see how long they take to get back to me on that one. I don't care if Plygem has to make a screen and send it to them. They should send a screen. Oh, there's always something delaying progress, but at least now we could get working on the trim. You can see we already have the trim on the front done. We just have to make the sides match. Some people have been wanting us to keep going. They say, why don't you finish the siding on your house, you know, because we did this part. But we've said it before. We'll say it again. We can't do this section yet. We're waiting. This is a huge job. We can't afford it. We don't have the time for it. It's not the right time of year for it. You got to remember, even though I'm in a t-shirt, it's December and we have cold nights. To do this wall, let me give you a rundown of what needs to be done. These windows, our new windows, they need to be removed. And that means we're going to have the house open to the outdoors. It's not going to be a quick job like this. We have to remove those windows. We have to remove the attic window. We have to take all of this siding off the house, which means we need a drop cloth because that's all lead paint. We don't want that all over the ground. And it's going to flake everywhere. So we got to smooth out the ground, lay down a drop cloth, take off all the wood siding, and then we have to repair framing. Not repair, but the framing is all over the place on this house. It's not 16-inch centers, so it's really hard to build on that. So we're going to have to add framing. Then we're going to have to insulate the walls. This wall, non-insulated. It's just wood. Wood siding, wood walls, nothing in between. So when all that comes off, we want to insulate the wall, and then we want to put up sheathing, house wrap, maybe a rain screen, might leave it off on this section, and then siding, windows. You see what I'm saying? This is a big project. That's a lot of sheathing, insulation, studs, time, house exposed to the elements where we're going to be losing our heat and everything else. So that is why we're not doing this section of the house yet. We have to wait, and what we're waiting for is our mobile home property. We have a mobile home that we bought that we are fixing up as an investment. Also, it's an investment for us to get this done, because what we can do is we can set it up as our little camp, and we can camp out there while we're doing this so that the mess and chaos isn't disrupting our lives, because, you know, we have kids and everything else, so you can't just have your house all ripped open like that and windows out. So there is a process that we're going through. Working on one thing so that we can get to another. And other things have popped up that have consumed our time and resources, but this is just as important, so it needs to be done. I was going to bring you guys inside to show you the windows from in here and show you what work we have to get done. But, you know, as you can see, it's a little bit crazy in here because we had to pull the bed out to get to the windows. We have this big 4-poster bed and huge headboard, so you guys can't see much. But let me try to get the headboard out of the way, and then we'll look at the windows. Well guys, now you can definitely see the windows better, and I can show you what's going on over here. What the post is still in your way? Okay. No, I'm kidding. We still have to do the window trim inside here, and unfortunately I think I have to rebuild all of it. We had these all trimmed out and finished previously, but when we swapped our windows out, the trim changed because the old windows didn't need jamb extensions. They were full depth windows, so they mounted outside, but they came all the way in, but just about flush to the wall. So all we had to do is put trim up to that. And the trim was cut for those windows, for the size, and those jambs were kind of thick. When I case these out, I'm going to put in 3/4 inch boards all the way around to do jamb extensions to fill in this section. And so our original trim isn't going to be the right width for that. And it really changes a lot more than you'd think. That's another job for another day, because trim and wood like that, trim boards, they're expensive. And then we got to finish them with this Cabernet and make it all look nice again. So we'll be working on that soon. I'll call the store and see if they have that screen. I hope they didn't throw it out. You know what? When I was leaving the store, I was even thinking, I wonder if they would have given me the old window too, just in case I needed parts or something.
Yeah.
Because they don't need it. They don't care.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, what am I going to do with it? Because, we have no storage.
They're probably just going to throw it in their dumpster.
It's probably in the dumpster.
Yeah. Ooh, that lets in a lot more light, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Wow, that's cool. I like that a lot better, don't you?
Yeah. But also, having 2 windows again is nice.
Oh, yeah.
That's the only thing. So how should I finish that off? Should I put a cap board to trim off the top? Or should I just round it over and keep it simple like it is?
I would say leave it simple. Just round it the way they did here.
Yeah. So Evie got our room put back together before it got too late. So that's good. It's going to be awesome having windows here. And windows that we can now see. I have one more little job we can do today. You see this piece of wood? I have to make a hole in it. This is actually from a project that we've been kind of putting off because it's not that important. Why is this not going through? There it is. You guys want a sky update? Look at it, still going. All of this haze, wouldn't be there. It'd be a blue sky right now. That's not clouds, that's contrails. They fade out, spread out, cover the sky. Just thought it'd be fun to show you guys that. Well, it doesn't happen every day, but when it happens, it's interesting. We made it over to the mobile home property so that I can install this piece before the sun goes down. And you can see we're just putting it as some accent wall, I guess, above our shower to match the accent wall we did over here. These were leftover pieces, so we just wanted to use them. Just trying to get it lined up right. So there it is, kind of tidied up. It'll look a lot better once we get it all trimmed out. We're going to trim out these edges around the front of the shower. We're going to get our crown molding up in the ceiling. You can see it wraps around, matches that wall. It's going to look good. You got to picture it all finished.
Hideous.
Well, let me just show the floor here. You guys can see we have a little bit of a mess in here. And that's about the condition of the whole house, where we just have little things strewn about. So we do have to clean this up. We'll get it picked up before we start on the next stage, which is walls. In this room, in the kitchen, we did wallboard drywall. That's the only place that's going to be drywall in this house. We're going to be doing something else on the rest. So we're going to buy it in a bulk order. And that's why we're waiting, because there's a lot of walls left over. Now that we're done with all this flooring, that's what we were using, flooring for our accent wall. We'll bring these home. We'll start cleaning up this place and get it ready. I don't know when that's coming. I don't know when this is going to continue.
Yeah.
But we haven't forgotten about it. We do come here and we do what we can do.
Little things here and there.
I guess that's all we have for now. Thanks for watching, and until next time, take care.
Bye.
What do you think of that?
Disgusting. Annoying.